evening standoff between the labor union and President Kais Saied. Last month, the union's strike over wages and working conditions disrupted transport services across the country and piled pressure on Saied to deal with the deepening economic crisis. Traditional leaders in South Africa say they will not boycott the 2026 local government elections. There have been reports that the leaders threatened to protest the elections if government fails to grant their demands. National House of Traditional and Khoisan leaders concluded their Imbizo meeting in Boksburg, east of Johannesburg. The deputy chairperson of the organization, Nkosilanga Mavuso.
Chapter 12 does not guarantee the recognition.
It's over a 2023 visit to London, which took place when he was still the country's head of state. Wickremesinghe has denied any wrongdoing. Now, for any news stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us at +27 11 714 4459. Channel Africa News, I'm Onele Tsinzi.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
This.
6 minutes past 1 p.m. in Central African time. Well, here we are for the Friday edition of The Upside, and we are excited for several reasons. That we're back on air, that it's a Friday, that Tebogo's got a camera and he's putting it in everybody's face.
I'm creating content.
Everybody gets a camera.
I'm creating content. We live in that day and age now, right, where it's acceptable to walk around with the phone and just smile.
No, literally, while you are asleep, there's cameras in your face. Okay, if you live with little ones, you would know what I'm talking about. Welcome to the show. Thank you very much for joining us. Tebogo Lekuleni and Matsheko Mosito in with you, and of course the rest of our wonderful team. We are happy to be in your company until 4 p.m. in Central African time. There he is with his camera again.
And you can see me do this live on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. DSTV is channel 802, OpenView channel 628, and as always you can download that SABC Plus app to take us with you wherever you go, or stream us on www.channelafrica.co.za. It's a party Friday on The Upside.
Oh, it's a party Friday.
It's a party. We're having a good time. The weekend is here. And to sort of distract you that you're getting paid on Monday, let's do this today. Right? We are going to talk firstly about influencers needing to be taxed, and how the South African Revenue Service is now keeping close eyes on these content creators, because many of them are making too much noise about how much money they are making, campaigns they are turning down. Now, Taxman is saying, you too must now pay tax.
Now they're ruining it for everyone, is what I gotta say.
They should have just kept quiet. All right. And then we'll be talking to Uzakes Bantwini about a festival he'll be launching on the 30th of November, the Mayoni Festival. Then we've got two Lesotho DJs who will be joining us later on today for our DJ mix. And then the legendary Heavy K will be on The Upside later on today. How exciting is that?
Listen, that sounds like a hot show. That sounds like a show I would listen to. All right. So thank you very much for being here. We hope that you will be tuned in for the next 3 hours. Welcome to The Upside. We're 9 minutes into 1 p.m.
No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you.
Annie Kalonji sur Channel Africa.
Nous allons à présent dérouler notre tapis rouge pour accueillir notre personnalité du jour, l'artiste-chanteur Sheky Frey, qui est en ligne de Guinée avec nous.
Je suis un artiste guinéen, un créateur, un styliste. Et je fais un peu ce qui plaît à mes fans. Voilà, c'est un peu ça. On a beaucoup de genres de trucs à faire, mais bon, on est basé un peu sur le rap.
D'accord. À quelle période de votre vie avez-vous commencé à vous intéresser à la musique, Sheky?
Bon, je ne crois pas qu'il y ait une période, parce que moi, je suis un mélomane depuis mon petit âge.
Annie Kalonji, tous les dimanches sur Mix Vibration.
The Upside, 1 to 4 p.m. Central African Time. With Tebogo Kuleni and Mateko Mosito. Only on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Dawana by Shasha, featuring Sykes, and he was not missing in action in this one. Kelvin Moore. What a banger to start and kickstart the show. This is The Upside on Channel Africa, the African perspective with Tebogo Lekuleni and Mateko Mosito. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Let's get into our first conversation, and this involves content creators. If you're a content creator, an influencer, just know that the taxman has got his eye on you. South Africa's influencer economy is booming, now valued at over R1 billion. But with big growth comes big responsibility. SARS has made it clear that 2025 will be the defining year for digital creators. From celebrity influencers to niche content makers, whether it's sponsored posts, brand deals, affiliate links, or even barter collaborations, every cent is taxable income. Those who fail to register as provisional taxpayers or declare their earnings could face serious penalties. For top earners grossing the R1 million mark, VAT registration is also on the table. As this fast-moving digital industry grows, compliance, record-keeping, and professional financial management are becoming a non-negotiable. To help us unpack what this means for creators and brands they work with, we are joined by Mohau Libese, managing partner at Accountants on Point. Mohau, thank you so much for your time and welcome to The Upside.
Thank you so much, Tebogo, and good afternoon to you and all your listeners.
Why?
And I forgot Mateko as well. Mateko, how are you? I know, go on.
How are you? And a little bit of VAT on top.
I love that. Mohau, let's talk about it. Why all of a sudden has the taxman, SARS, shifted its attention towards content creators? Because they've been very quiet about it. The lines have been very blurred for quite some time. Why now all of a sudden?
So, basically, South African influencers have gained so much popularity, recently, or over the years, rather.
Yeah.
And they, gain a lot of followers, shares, and all of that. And the misconception with them is that I think there's misconception that their earnings are exempt from tax, And now with this, with this new age digital earning, obviously SARS as well is ramping up their systems, their data collection, AI, to make sure that each and every cent that has to be collected is done. Obviously, SARS, they also launched their Billions campaign where they go for these high-earning people and everyone who was not declaring taxes. So they are looking, as much as the economy is feeling the heat, they are also looking to these people who are not declaring their taxes to get part of their money. And you see, this is very complex because it's not just only cash. It's, as you explained in your intro, it's also barter. I think in your radio language you call it trade exchange.
Yes.
Your sponsored post, because these influencers can charge anything between 3K up to 18,000 for a post.
Or even more.
Or even more. So SARS is looking into that and saying, hey, we want a piece.
SARS is that kid that just wants everything. Hey, I'm watching everything you're doing.
Exactly. They want a little piece of everyone's cartoon.
True.
Okay.
But they say, give what belongs to Caesar, something like
fair.
that. Yeah.
It's really, we laugh about it, but this is really, really serious, and Mohau, I'm just thinking that I'd love for us to get into, what kind of income influencers are required to actually declare. Perhaps you'll break that down for us in terms of what to look out for, especially for those that is the only source of income. But is it truth or myth that the stuff that we post on social media can get the taxman on our backs, so to speak? Because, people sort of post their fancy cars, their tangible assets, their houses and their holiday destinations and all of that on social media. How much of that is the taxman watching and sort of calculating so that they can come back and, kind of declare some of that you've posted on social media?
So you see, with that, it's very difficult. But because SARS, they don't have all of those resources to be going for us posting an iPhone 16 or whatsoever.
Okay.
As compared to someone who is posting a 20 million mention, Obviously, that one now is a concern. I would assume that SARS will target first the high-earning individuals, and because it's worth to go for that person than going for me and taking a small little thing. So obviously, that's how I would put it. Obviously, they will have to check how do you actually afford the 20 million rent house without declaring any form of income. That on its own raises alarm bells. But on the other side, for me, how because they've got like third-party people that they are working with SARS, like your banks, your investment people. They also submit, they are under law, under obligation to submit to SARS every year, like your retirement annuities, your interest income. So obviously SARS will be like, but how can you get so much interest income when you are not working, or when you're saying you are not declaring any income? Obviously, you have to have some form of savings to get that interest.
Yeah.
So that's when it opens it up to someone on the lower end, like me. Maybe the interest income can back up that. And on the other side, when they register a new house in their name and this house was not financed by a bond or it was bought cash, then there's also alarm bells on the other side. But when we look at this,
Mohau, I'm gonna ask you just to hold that thought. Let's take a quick breather, and while we also pay Caesar what's due to him, and then we'll come back and continue the conversation.
The KwaZulu-Natal Convention Bureau, in collaboration with Milvest Advisory and the city of Umhlathuze, bring you the 2025 Tourism Investment Forum Africa. As a global platform for local action, the Tourism Investment Africa aims to promote the secondary and tertiary cities and regions as attractive investment and tourism hubs. Be part of the movement transforming tourism in Africa. Join us for the TIFA 2025 from August 27 to 29 at Tembela Venue, Richards Bay, KZN, South Africa. The Upside. On the Upside, your voice matters.
It's 22 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. We're having a conversation about content creators, influencers now being under the taxman's radar. So if you're a content creator and you're making money and you thought, easy money, this one, I'm not declaring it, I'm coining it. And you're also one of those influencers who constantly tells people, I just turned down 150,000 Rand deal, brand deal. Those are the kind of deals I get. Taxman is now watching you. Mohau, let's talk about, you mentioned earlier, the barter deals. These are now deals that we can say maybe free clothes, an overnight stay. How are these ones taxable?
So basically that it forms part of a gross income. So basically now I'm just going to, and I don't want to get technical, but obviously you've got your gross income.
Yeah.
And you deduct your expenses, then you get to your taxable income now.
Yes.
So the trade exchange or barter deal makes part of it, or it forms, or it qualifies to be called the gross income. And how you determine that? You determine that by market value, or what would another person ordinarily have paid for it. So if it's a hotel stay and you stay there for free, it was 3 grand a night. Obviously, in your income, you should declare 3 grand. So basically, that's how it works. You declare the market value of the service that you got for free, basically.
That is something. I mean, I never would have imagined that this is the conversation we would be having around tax.
Yeah, obviously, I think with the with the brand contracts, they would have values that are attached to these. But in a sense, accounting-wise, that's how you actually declare it.
Right.
That's the value of that's the actual value of the barter deal.
Okay, so it's clear, based on what we've discussed already, how they've got to. Influencers have now got to run themselves like a business. Okay, you can no longer operate informally because, like I'd mentioned just before we took the break, a lot of influencers, some of them that's the only work that they do, and they operate informally. So take us through the steps then. Okay, now there's the whole tax thing now that I've got to pay attention to as an influencer. What are the key steps that I need to start taking from today going forward to make sure that I am compliant with the South African Revenue Service?
And so basically, I would say, number one, I would advise that don't mix your personal and business expenditures or income in one account. So put your business expenses and income on a different account. Rather, open up a company, because remember now, your company is taxed at 27%, your corporate tax, basically. And then, as an individual, you can be taxed, it's a sliding scale. You can be taxed anything from 18% up until 45%. But with your company, you can also deduct each and every expense that you incurred to generate this income. It can be your telephone, internet, it can be your travel, it can also be your professionals. If you're hiring a professional photographer, you can deduct that expense. And obviously, if that's your only business, you have to qualify for, you have to meet certain criteria. If that's your only business and you are the only person there, or the only person, or how can I put it rather, the directors on that business are individuals, not another company, then you can obviously qualify to be a small business corporation, which from your 0 to 95,000, I think, or I stand to be corrected, I can check that, you don't pay any tax, let's say. It's different to an individual who pays tax from, rent going up, So obviously, that's what I will advise. That's the first one. Open up a business account, separate these two. Number two, keep your records. Keep your records clean. All your expenses and stuff. And then record all your, who anticipate that for the next 12 months, they will surpass R1 million, right? In revenue.
Okay.
So that's the first. So if you think that for this year I would, then you can start registering for that. And if you have surpassed it already, yes, now you are under law, under obligation to actually do it. Yes. So some other businesses would be like, no, we prefer you to be VAT registered before we even give you this contract. Then with that one, then you can go and to SARS with that contract and explain to them that, condition of this contract is that I get a VAT number. Then yes, you can register for VAT using that. But the minute you hit R1 million and more, you are under law to register for VAT. And so basically, and then from there, each and every post that you do, or each and every invoice that you'll be invoicing, you will have to charge VAT. And you can also claim input VAT from all of your invoices, basically.
Okay. Okay. Sometimes we may think we can outsmart the tax man. And we've seen way too many examples of people who are just not able to do that, even in their professional experience of many, many years. So what are the potential penalties or consequences for influencers who don't declare their earnings?
So basically, there is two sets of penalties that SARS can impose. Number one, we've got the one that they can impose for either late submission or for non-submission. So that one, they call it an administrative non-compliance penalty. And that one, they can charge you from 250 up until 16,000 rand per month of each and every month that you did not submit, basically. Okay. And then we've got an understatement penalty where that one they will charge you, or they will impose that penalty for under declaring your income. So that one they'll be like, oh, so you got a trade exchange or a barter deal for like 300,000 that you didn't include. Should they be able to prove that, they will tax you. And you see, with this penalty, SARS, if you are not a first-time offender, they can charge you up until 200% penalty.
Wow.
So the penalty on its own is spent on its own, and over and above that, you will be taxed on that income. So it's that income that they have to tax and a penalty on the side.
Mohau, we have unfortunately run out of time. Very quickly, where can we get in touch with you if we require your services?
So basically, you can drop me a WhatsApp on 069-512-1586 or give us a call on our landline 010-065-3852, or you can drop us an email on info@accountantop.com. So it's ACCOUNTANTSOP.com. So accountantop.com.
Mohau, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. The voice of Mohau Libese, managing partner at Accountants on Point. Very quickly, we got a comment coming in on Facebook from Jennifer Motemele. I would suggest that influencers consult with an accountant so that they can be guided throughout the process on monthly or yearly basis. Very important there. Thank you so much. It's 31 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African Time. Let's get the latest sports with Musibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you so much, Tebogo. Very good afternoon from the Sports Desk. We'll start here. So Kenya's Harambee Stars stand on the brink of history as they prepare to face Madagascar in the Total Energies African Nations Championship Chan Tournament quarterfinals at the Moy Sports Centre Kasarani today. So the first time in 38 years, the Stars will line up in the knockout phase of a major continental competition. The buzz in Nairobi is electric, but the head coach Benny McCarthy has one message for his players, and that is to keep calm. Kenya arrive unbeaten after 4 matches at the Kasarani Stadium, collecting 10 points through 3 wins as well as a draw. Their strong group stage showing has built belief now that McCarthy knows Madagascar, fresh from topping a group that also included Morocco as well as the Democratic Republic of Congo, present a different kind of challenge now for the Harambee Stars. Madagascar, meanwhile, are no strangers to making the headlines on the continental stage. They reached the semi-finals in Chan back in 2022, and Algeria eventually claiming the bronze medal in that edition. Meanwhile, when the Taifa Stars step onto the pitch at the Dar es Salaam's Benjamin Mkapa Stadium, they will not just be facing Morocco, but they will be facing history. So Tanzania have already broken new ground, this by topping Group B at the Total Energies Chan tournament. But tonight's quarterfinal match will test whether belief, home passion, as well as tactical discipline can outwit the experience of the 2-time champions. So whatever the outcome is going to be like at the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium, it promised to be one of Chan's 2024 defining nights, a contest of ambition, identity, as well as national pride. Kickoff for this game is at 7 p.m. Central African Time tonight. Of course, a place in the final is up for grabs, or should I say the semi-finals is up for grabs. Meanwhile, in live cricket action at the moment, we can confirm South Africa have won the second ODI match against Australia, this by 84 runs. Not so long ago, the post-match interviews just actually concluded a few minutes ago. It's a 3-match ODI series. South Africa currently leading this ODI series 2-0, with 1 match set to be played on Sunday. So we can confirm that South Africa have now won the series with 1 match to go. Earlier on, it was Matthew Brisky's 88.5 century from Tristan Stubb, helping South Africa post a competitive total of about 277 all out after being asked to bat first in the second one-day international against Australia at the Great Barrier Reef Arena in Mackay earlier on today. South Africa won the first one by 98 runs, with Markram top scoring with 82 and Keshav Maharaj claiming a career best of 5 for 33 to bowl out the host in the first one for 198 98 runs in reply to the Proteas' 296 for 8. So that third and final ODI will be played on Sunday. South Africa, one would say, are cruising nicely. Well, the countdown for the 2027 ICC Men's Cricket World Cup has officially begun as the Minister of Sports, Gayton McKenzie, announced the local organising committee board at the Cricket South Africa headquarters in Melrose in Johannesburg on Thursday. McKenzie admitted that there's a few touch-ups to be done, but now believes the country has proven itself enough on the world stage to host such an event.
We've hosted a Soccer World Cup, but there's no country in the world that hosts any event without touch-ups also. What I must add is what's important for people to know about the Government of National Unity is that one of the KPIs that I have is that we must bring big events to South Africa. But our country, South Africa, if I have to give another name for South Africa, is Kamans the hour, Kamans the man. Kamans the man, Kamans the hour. South Africa always, when it is necessary for South Africa to rise to the occasion, it never fails.
Right, so this tournament in 2027 will be co-hosted by South Africa, Namibia as well as Zimbabwe. Representing the Namibian government, the Deputy Minister of Youth and Sports, Dino Baloti, says the whole country is excited to play a role. He also announced that the infrastructure is up to date and almost completed, and will leave a lasting legacy for the sport in that country.
And I'm so proud to announce that our brand new, I want to call it a world-class stadia, is going to be completed. And that facility, which also hosts Namibia's first high-performance center, is a result of us co-hosting, the Cricket World Cup. And it's only with this event that we now can proudly host a world-class facility with a high-performance center that caters for many sport codes. And I think all Namibians are quite excited.
Right, so all Namibians are excited, South Africans are excited as well. The world, I think, will be excited for that 2027 Cricket World Cup. Well, that concludes your sports news this hour. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, simply send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11714 4459. The time has just gone 13:37 p.m. Central African time. I'm back with more sports news in the next hour. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Are you fluent in French, Chinyanja, Portuguese, and Kiswahili? Are you passionate about radio? And are you looking to work in South Africa? Do you have papers that qualify you to work in South Africa? In that case, we might have an opportunity for you to work for Channel Africa. Send us your CV and demo at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Remember, if you don't hear from us within 14 days, it means you have not made it or you have not been selected. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The KwaZulu-Natal Convention Bureau, in collaboration with Milvest Advisory and the city of Mhlathuze, brings you the 2025 Tourism Investment Forum Africa. By positioning these regions for sustainable growth, TIFA helps drive their economic ambitions while providing access to critical capital, networks, and strategic insights on investments in the trade services sector, such as tourism. Join us for the TIFA 2025 from August 27 to 29 at Tembela Venue, Richards Bay, KZN, South Africa. Be part of the movement transforming tourism and infrastructure in Africa. Get Channel Africa on DSTV Audio Bouquet. Channel 802.
38 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's hand over the mic now to Matapelo Mahape for business news.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Deborah, and good afternoon. The TCARD9 conference are currently underway in Yokohama, Japan. Under the theme Co-Creating Innovative Solutions with Africa, leaders are exploring opportunities for collaboration, innovation and sustainable development. The conference brings together African leaders, international partners and global development institutions to discuss the strategies for peace, economic growth and social development across the continent. CEO of Brand South Africa, Neville Marchis, is in Yokohama. He says over and above the meetings they they had with some of the delegates, they also had side meetings with some of the Japanese companies.
And we've also had side meetings engaging with a number of Japanese companies that are wanting to invest in South Africa. But the main theme really driven by the mission and what the president set as a tone for us was really to drive exports, to look at alternative markets for our South African products, particularly agricultural products. So there's been a number of engagements with the Japanese community specifically focusing on that. One of the areas that we've engaged with them on was really how they can ensure that they assist our companies to become compliant.
Post Bank says all the South African Social Security Agency beneficiaries receiving grants through Post Bank's Black and Gold cards will continue to receive their grant payments without any interruption. It reports circulating in the media that the Master Services Agreement is expiring are unfortunate or not necessarily valid. The bank says that the cards are an indication that beneficiaries have accounts with it. Post Bank Chief Commercial Officer Tami Cele says that the beneficiaries will always receive their payments securely and timelessly through their existing Post Bank cards.
We'll leave no beneficiary behind in any way. Our grant payments, will always be in line with the SASSA grant payments, and they will always be paid on time without any delays. Please do not listen to the noises that may create distraction. We urge the beneficiaries that they do not have to change their banking details or a method of payment.
South African Minister of Tourism, Patricia de Lille, has appointed a 6-member team to manage the affairs of the South African Tourism Board until the new board is appointed. The board was dissolved earlier this week due to legal issues and unlawful resolution at a special board meeting. The team was appointed under Section 16(3) of the Tourism Act No. 3 of 2014. Minister spokesperson Aljon St. Pierre.
The term of office of the above members is effective from today, the 22nd of August. The members possess collective knowledge, experience and qualifications relating to the function of the South African Tourism Board. The Minister appreciates the commitment of the members to serve South African tourism and wishes them well. In due course, the Minister will announce the process to appoint permanent members of the South African Tourism Board in terms of Section 13, subsection 3 of the Tourism Act. The nominations will be opened to all eligible individuals.
And South Africa's Deputy President Paul Mashatile says more than half of young people in employment, education or training have been searching for work for over a year. Speaking at the Human Resource Development Council meeting in Johannesburg, the Deputy President has called for urgent radical action to tackle the country's deepening youth unemployment crisis.
We must adopt a proactive stance and address the disparity between labour supply and demand. We must create a labour market that will effectively create employment opportunities for young people, including those with no skills. We can address unemployment, including amongst those with limited skills, through a multi-pronged approach focused on education and skills development, entrepreneurship, a heterogeneous mix of young people.
And the United Nations agencies are warning that the global workforce needs a better protection from excessive heat driven by worldwide warming. The World Health Organization says mitigation should focus on older workers and those with health conditions, with shifts moved to cooler hours and buildings made more heat resilient. The BBC's Morgan Fawkes reports.
The WHO has warned many times that extreme heat affects our health. This report looks specifically at the workplace. Construction and agriculture are particularly affected. The report finds that productivity drops by 2% for every degree above 20 degrees centigrade. Health risks include heat stroke, dehydration, kidney problems, and an increased risk of accident.
A look at your financial indicators. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira 535. In Botswana, it's 13 pula 29. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 38, and Zambia it's 21 kwacha 29. The BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 real 47. Russia, it's 80 rubles 49. India, it's 87 rupees 17, while in China it's 7 yuan 18, and in South Africa, $1 is trading at 17 rands $1.18. And look at your commodities. Gold is trading at $3,329 and platinum at $1,336 per ounce, while the price of Brent crude oil is at $67.55 a barrel. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +3711 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business News, I am Matapela Mahape.
Business News on Channel Africa. The African Perspective. Get the news, music, and lifestyle of Africa on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
It's 1:45 in Central African time. The Upside got to connect with South African record producer and just a wonderful protege of Fela Kuti. His name is Zakes Bantwini, and he has just made an announcement that he has made the announcement that he will be launching the Mayoni Festival that is going to take over the Constitution Hill here in Johannesburg. And Deborah and I got to speak to him. This is what he had to say. All right, so here we are, and we are in conversation. In fact, we are in celebration, might I add, because from the 14th of this month, we refused some really good news, and in the form of a celebration that involves one of South Africa's greatest hitmakers. His name is Zakes Bantwini. Johannesburg is about to witness something extraordinary, something truly groundbreaking, because on the 30th of November, Constitution Hill, the iconic Constitution Hill, might I add, will be hosting the very first Mayoni Festival. It is a bold new creation by Grammy Award-winning artist and cultural icon, as I'd mentioned, Zakes Bantwini. This isn't just another music festival. It's a full cultural experience. It's about celebrating Afro House and Afro Tech through music, through art, and of course through style and fashion. So from immersive staging to interactive spaces and even a backstage vantage point for fans, Mayoni is set to redefine how we experience African electronic music. Can we make some noise for Zakes Bantwini? Oh my goodness! What a privilege to connect with you, Zakes. Welcome to Channel Africa. Thank you. We've heard you describe Mayoni Festival as more than just a music festival or a music event, as it were. So, talk to us about the seed inspiration behind creating this experience.
Yeah. How people are even like searching information, you know. Right. We were born in the 80s, we used to Google. Right now you tell us that just ChatGPT it, you know what I mean? So you just tell you that the world is changing. So as record labels, you know. So record labels are no longer about, you know, signing artists and just making music, you know. So now record labels are becoming more like an experience and creating spaces of where or how they want you to actually experience the music that they produce or that they're releasing with different type of artists. And that's definitely what Mayoni Open Air Festival is really about, you know. It's about really putting everything together that makes entertainment entertainment, you know, which is fashion, you know, which is the arts, which is the design, like the design of the stage, and everything else that makes it that makes every festival you know, amazing. So I think one just wanted to make sure that he has all those particular touch points to make sure that it becomes a serious musical experience, because we make music and then we have to go and perform it in different stages, which those stages which are not really meant for a certain genre. But this time around, this is a dance genre, this is a dance stage, and everything else it is geared towards that.
Zakes, let's talk about Constitution Hill. I mean, it's such a powerful, historic venue. Why was this the chosen home for the first edition of Mayoni Festival?
I think it's because I think our tagline for this Summerland is like it's an evolution of house, of dance music, an evolution of Afrotech. And for us, the revolution of South Africa, really, when you cannot talk about the revolution of South Africa and don't mention the Constitution Hill. Even right now, the greatest, or if there are serious debates, if you want to shut somebody down, you have to take them to a constitutional court instead, but because there's so much history, and it's still in the city of Johannesburg, where everybody from Soweto can still take a taxi to come to the show, and they can still take a taxi back to show. We just wanted to make sure that is also accessible. And also we reach out people from every walks of life, and I think like we may be doing shows which are away from where our people are, and then they cannot access where we are, and also how Constitution Hill is. I mean it's one of the iconic venues. I always try to choose iconic venues, and for me there's a story there. And when I wanted just to organize this festival, I wanted to go to a venue that also has depth, because I wanted just to create something that has depth as well.
Love that.
It sounds amazing. For me, one of the standout features of the Mayoni Festival is the elevated general ticket system that's going to be coming through, because you're giving fans a rare chance to be able to experience backstage.
Yes.
Yeah. So what made you decide to open the space up to the audience in that manner? That's something I've never heard before.
Yeah, because I think we are about the music, as like we are a record label in our essence and our core. We are about the music. We want people to go there and really experience the music that we create, the music that we put out. We want people to experience the music, and
The KZN Convention Bureau, in collaboration with Milvest Advisory and the City of Umhlatuze, bring you the 2025 Tourism Investment Forum Africa, or TIFA. As a global platform for local action, the Tourism Investment Forum Africa aims to promote secondary and tertiary cities and regions as attractive investment and tourism hubs. Be part of the movement transforming tourism investment in Africa. Join us for the TIFA 2025 from 27 to 29 August at Tembela Venue, Richards Bay, KwaZulu-Natal in South Africa.
And you have people who always envy to be backstage or to be at the elevated platform behind the DJ, but they may not access that because their pocket, doesn't allow them to be there. And granted, because promoters which put these festivals together, they will make an elevated platform in a VIP area, because they obviously to speak to the overheads. But because we are a music festival, for us really, what is your takeaway there? It's really the experience of the music, because we know that when you fall in love with the music, we're gonna go and stream this music. So the value is beyond the day. So for us, we're not really fascinated about money. We're just fascinated about the experience, and we're fascinated about introducing you to this thing called dance, Afro House, Afro Tech, 3-step, for you to immerse yourself around this experience, and then you go home and start listening to that, and that's where we're going to make our money.
Zakes, having won a Grammy, you are internationally recognized. Does it make it easier to start such festivals, knowing that it's going to sell out?
What a beautiful question. No, I don't take that for granted, and it's something that I actually I would say this. It may look a bit easy. I mean, I think we still need a lot of brands, to still support, I would say, black music promoters, because we still fight tooth and nail for us to get that particular support. We still have brands and CMOs, wanting us to prove ourselves first before they could give us a dime, and when we see our counterparts who are doing the very same thing, serious budget in their inaugural events, you know. So we still go through that, you know. This is this at this particular moment in time, we don't even have a sponsor at this moment. Wow. You know, I'm putting my own money, and also my partner at CK, Brandon, we are putting our own money with the hope that maybe a brand may just come through and maybe make it better, you know, because it's serious. It's such a heavy lifting to do something like this. So it's not easy, you know. It's not easy. It has challenges in each and every level. And I know sometimes, like, it may look easy. Someone says, now Mosaics, people know them. And when they do a show together, you know, have these brands knocking on their doors, wanting to sponsor them. It's the opposite. It's totally the opposite. It's like, no, what's my ROI? What can I justify? You know, if I give you this, what can I justify? Whatever. And you're like, but whatever that you justify to give my counterparts, you know, I'm sure you can justify this, you know. You'll be taught about so many things, you know, and we end up leaning to people who are specializing in marketing. We do amazing, compelling proposal, but still, you know, it's still the struggle. I go through that particular struggle myself at this level. Can you imagine someone who's not in my level? But it's a struggle that is there. But look, I think there's one thing that perhaps I'll say I'm lucky is that I do have money now to invest in the things that I want to do. You know, I think that's the only thing that I have. You know, contrary to perhaps my other counterparts who may not be able to be in a position that I am. But that's the only positive I have, is that I can, you know, I can go through and just take some of my money and be like, let me invest in it because I believe in it. That's where. But man, brands are quite tough. You know, brands are not coming through, especially for black promoters.
I tell you what, Zakes, because when you are saying this, it's not a foreign concept. It's not a foreign challenge that you just described. Not too long ago, Abo DJ Pori were also on an interview saying, "Hey, we are also struggling." And the question was, "You are at the highest level. You are making everyone dance, the whole world. How is it that you're struggling?" And it's very sad that is the reality that you're going through. But I love the fact that you still have the passion for the music and to share it with the people. That, you know what, you'll dig in your own pockets to make it happen.
You know, like bro. I think this we are the ones that we've been waiting for, you know. People have been saying, hey, one thing's going to happen. We are the ones that have been waiting for. You know, I think, like I say, in 1912, when organizations were open and people were saying, one day we will be free, we saw that freedom, which therefore it was us who saw it. We saw it happen. You know what I mean? So we are the ones who are voting. So we are the ones who are going to change the narrative. We are the one who are changing the perception around the musicians. We are the one who are going to school and proving people wrong that musicians are also voters, are also parents, are also responsible. You know, so a particular perception. And if the guys don't want to play, I'm just going to sit and clap hands. And the more we do this, the more the price is going to be expensive, because the data and us can do this without with now. I don't need yours, but if I want to play, now I need this. So it's going to be more expensive, because we are going to win. It's not we definitely going to win. You know, we are no longer those like blacks which will go to sponsors because they don't have money at all. Yeah. No. We have a little bit of it. It's just that it would be cool for us to be able to do other things. Yeah. But don't think that when you're saying, no, I don't want to sponsor you, that we're going to stop. We're going to do it. We're going to do it, and we're going to do it well.
You're going to do it, and you're going to do it well. Man, that elevated me. And you know what I love about this day and age, Zakes, is that you don't actually need to physically now go door to door and ask people to sign a petition. We have Twitter handles now. We have Instagram. We have TikTok. We petition for the Mayoni Festival to take us places. And congratulations on really just fighting your way through to really, you know, bring the music to the people and elevate the space of festivaling, because, you know, the space of festivaling is quite a big deal in South Africa. So for you to keep that flame alive is really amazing. But you've also been an artist that has been at the forefront of pushing boundaries. You know, so just talk to us about just some of the artistic elements, you know, as I'd mentioned them in the introduction, the style element, the electro music meeting history, you know, through the iconic venue, meeting Afro House, Afro Tech. You know, who are the other artists that are going to be involved, or other artistic people that are going to make this, you know, this vision come alive?
Or go to www.channelafrica.co.za to listen to the rest of that conversation with Zakes Bantwini, the inaugural Mayoni Festival, 30 November at the Constitution Hill. Let's get the latest news now with Onel Nsinsi. It's 2 p.m. Central African Time.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Deboho. Looking at your top stories, the UK agrees to pay compensation to residents living near a Kenyan wildfire conservatory, and Thailand court clears the former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra. Your latest news. Greetings to our listeners. The UK has agreed to pay $4 million in compensation to residents living near a Kenyan wildfire conservancy. This follows a fire that was sparked by a British military exercise in 2021. The British Army conduct joint exercises with Kenya in the northern Laikipia region, where it has a base in the town of Nanyuki. The fire broke out in the nearby Loldaiga in March 2021. Residents of Loldaiga area accused a British Army training unit of causing the wildfire that destroyed much of a nature reserve, leaving behind ordinances that injured locals. The Human Rights Measurement Initiative says Eswatini's human rights is a reflection of a deeply constrained civic environment. The data is contained in a report released by the initiative on Eswatini, painting a sobering picture of the country's human rights landscape. East and Southern Africa engagement lead at the Human Rights Measurement Initiative, Nkosi Sibanda, says citizens are not safe from the state. The report highlights widespread restrictions on freedom of expression, assembly and political participation, alongside deep socio-economic inequalities that continue to affect vulnerable groups. Sibanda explains.
You'll notice that the score on economic and social rights really reflects the deep-seated inequalities that exist in Eswatini, and the more urgent need is particularly in the right to work and the right to housing. Eswatini is one of the lowest scoring countries again when it comes to the right to work. And also the right to food. Actually, all the scores that we track, none of those scores fall under even the fair range of our scores. They all fall between either the bad or the very bad range of our scores.
Anti-illegal immigrants group March and March has called on the Southern Africa Refugee Organization Forum to disclose its sources of funding. The group accused SAROF of terrorism and plotting to make South Africa ungovernable. The Durban High Court struck off the role in urgent application brought by the SAROF against government ministers related to the ongoing blockade of public healthcare facilities targeting illegal foreign nationals. March and March legal advisor Xolani Zuma described the forum's application as an abuse of the court's process.
If they had issues with members of the March and March movement trying to protect and vindicate the rights of the innocent citizens of this country, they would have gone to open a case with the police. No case has been opened with the police. They had actually taken wrong respondents to court. So it was in fact misplaced and an abuse of court process, and it must actually be condemned. We don't know today how many mercenaries do we have in our country. We don't know how many people are training in our country to overthrow this government and take over. And this is a cause for concern, because these people are not here because they are running away from their countries because there's a war. They are coming here to abuse our system.
Traditional leaders in South Africa say they will not boycott the 2026 local government elections. There have been reports that the leaders threatened to protest the elections if government fails to grant their demands. National House of Traditional and Khoisan leaders concluded their Imbizo meeting in Boksburg, east of Johannesburg. The deputy chairperson of the organization, Nkosi Mavuso.
Chapter 12 does not guarantee the recognition and powers of traditional leaders. Many countries like England, Norway, their democracy has been thriving with their royalty being guaranteed. So in a way, we can do the same as South Africa. I don't think we'll boycott elections, but that would be irresponsible of us as an institution. We will be part of the elections.
Lastly, a court in Thailand has cleared the former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra violating strict laws against insulting the monarchy. The BBC's Jonathan Head reports.
Technically, the lèse-majesty law covers only the 4 top figures in the monarchy. But in practice, it's been interpreted to criminalise any comment or action which might negatively affect the royal institution. This time, the judges interpreted the wording of the law literally and said that as Mr Thaksin had not named names, there was no case to answer. He still faces one more criminal investigation, and his daughter, Paetongtarn, will find out next week whether she will be disqualified as Prime Minister by the Constitutional Court.
Recapping on your top stories, the UK has agreed to pay $4 million in compensation to residents living near a Kenyan wildfire conservancy. This follows a fire that's sparked by a British military exercise in the year 2021. Channel Africa News, I'm Onele Nzinzi.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
After 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. Central African Time. Get it properly, Debza. It's 7 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for tuning into The Upside on Channel Africa. This is the golden hour, the second hour of the show. And it's going to be an exciting one because we've got 2 amazing guests in studio. Coming all the way from Lesotho and have graced us in our studios in Auckland Park, South Africa. Streaming on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. And if you have any questions, would like to commentate on how amazing they look and their music, our WhatsApp line is +27 63 406 9126. Matseko, you're not Sotho, right? You are Motswana.
Ke Motswana mara ke a tseba bua Sesotho. Wena wa tseba na go bua Sesotho na. Ha re qale mo. Okay, so we're clearly going to teach them a thing or two. At least Mavele and Tash are going to when it comes to the music from the Mountain Kingdom and also just the culture that filters into the music. So we're going to come back and have a conversation. Any comments that you would like to add, whether you want to tell us about what you know about the traditional attires, Lesotho, Siana Marena, you want to talk to us about Mino wa Famo, or you want to talk to us about how that blends with Amapia. Listen, anything you want to chat to us about, our social media platforms are open. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, we're all there.
The KwaZulu-Natal Convention Bureau, in collaboration with Milvest Advisory and the city of Mhlathuze, brings you the 2025 Tourism Investment Forum, Africa. By positioning these regions for sustainable growth, TIFA helps drive their economic ambitions while providing access to critical capital, networks, and strategic insights on investments in the trade services sector, such as tourism. Join us for the TIFA 2025 from August 27 to 29 at Tembela Venue, Richards Bay, KZN, South Africa. Be part of the movement transforming tourism and infrastructure in Africa. The Midnight Snack, 12 to 3 a.m.
Young couples or young people that are getting married, we often hear of divorces, that they're getting divorced, and it's quite worrying because when we attend these weddings, we want to see these people flourish and celebrate 30-year anniversaries. What do you think is the main challenge that is facing newlyweds?
We say that tell me how you were raised and I'll tell you how you love. So when we see people getting married, that's not where the relationship actually starts. The relationship starts with how you were raised, what you were familiar with, because we are attracted to what we are familiar with. If you don't have a background where love was prominent, where love was authentic, it's going to be very difficult for you to manufacture that in later life. So our upbringing has something to do with it.
The Midnight Snack, every Monday, 12 to 3 a.m. with Chanduko Ligege. Call us on +27 63 406 9126. And contribute to the conversation. Your afternoons just got even better, fresh and exciting. The Upside, hooking you up with today's news from an African perspective.
11 minutes into 2 p.m. in Central African Time. Thank you very much for staying with us. Tebogo Lekuleni and Matsheko Mosito with you until 4 p.m. in Central African Time. So, are you ready for a conversation?
159%.
That's good to know. That's good to know, because today we are joined in studio here on Channel Africa by Mavele as well as Tesh. This is a duo from the Mountain Kingdom, ya Lesotho, and they've been making waves, just in case you haven't heard of them, for more than 2 years, okay? They first stepped into the spotlight as dancers before they started to expand into music production and live performance. Their journey has been, has seen them just share stages with some really big names, the likes of Mahuta from South Africa, Mahuta and Fetkuk, by the way, as well as Kabza the Small, just to name a few. So each performance merges their talent as dancers, DJs, and musicians and creates a show that is both entertaining and deeply rooted in who they are. So they're going to talk to us about just how they merge everything and create just a spectacle. You know, it's not just about the music, but it's really entertainment in its entirety, from how they dress in their traditional attire to how they merge the traditional music of Lesotho music with amapiano and lukompo in there as well, and a little bit of house. Listen, they are the people to be. So we've got a thing on the show where we are trying to like audition to be drummers. So we're going to drum roll for Mavele and Tesh.
Here we go.
So let's make all the noise we can for
Mavele and Tesh. Dumelang.
Hey. How are you guys?
No, man, we are happy. We're excited. Yeah, we are good.
I think just for the benefit of those that are not from Southern Africa, there's obviously going to be a fascination with the attire. Please talk to us about the traditional attire, from the hats to, you know, what the shirts represent and all of that. Yeah.
Okay. As you can see, this is our Basotho hat. So the way it's been created, we have a mountain in Lesotho that's called Tababosibo. That's where the Basotho nations were created or were lived before our King Moshoeshoe passed away. So basically, this is the hat on its own. It describes our mountain in Lesotho. It's a formation of that mountain, as we can see it. So down there were a couple of houses where Basotho were living, and then this mountain, now let's take it as a mountain, it grows at night. Apparently we're told like that. It grows at night. You couldn't be able to climb it at all because it keeps on going high and high and high and high. Yeah. Okay. So basically, on its own, it describes our history as Basotho. So everywhere where we're wearing it, we wear it with pride because it's where we are rooted at. Yes.
Okay. And what is the traditional name? Because it's got a name. What is
Mokorotlo.
Mokorotlo.
Yes, Mokorotlo. Yes. So there's also a song Basotho. I wanted to Basotho to give Pina Banna ya Mokorotlo. So basically, the song, the head is named after that song Mokorotlo Pina Banna. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And the colors. You talk to us about the significance of the colors of the t-shirts that you're wearing, and also the let's call them sticks for now that you're holding.
Yeah, obviously, as you can see now, we have the blue. It's a blue color, a white color, and a green color. So basically, this is our national flag.
Yes.
Yes, on its own. Yes. So it says Hoto Khotso Pula Nala. So it says peace. It is peace. Khotso Pula Nala. So it describes our national flag on its own, the meaning of it. So ke khotso, ke pula, ke nala. So it says God now is, as you know that Basotho are the most respectful nation. So with the other color, it obviously describes our peace as Basotho, our humanity as Basotho. The other one is pula. Pula basically it's about, let's go to the masimung. Let's have food. And then the other one, obviously, it describes as the nation of Basotho as a whole. Yes.
Okay. And the sticks, the significance of the sticks that you're holding?
Yeah, obviously, these sticks, our grandparents, they were using it when they go to, the shepherd also, they were using it. And the guys from the initiation schools also, they were using it. Okay. Back in the days, it was used as a weapon, but lately now we just use it,
it's a fashion statement.
It's a fashion statement. Yeah. But yes, yes.
This is amazing. I like how you're just simplifying it as well, so that everyone can understand. Tesh, talk to me about how you met your good friend Mavele. How did you guys meet, and then how did you then decide to merge your talents into one collaboration, to a duo?
Nothing much, but the thing is, first thing I saw like
he likes you like what he does, and vice versa.
Okay. Yeah, it is vice versa. Yeah. So then I end up we have one vision.
Yeah.
So let me approach the guy.
Okay.
Come approach her, then
the rest is history.
It was just meant to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So wait, when you met, did you meet when you were both dancers? Is that where it started, or did you meet and then you started dancing together?
No, everyone is a dancer on his own, individually. Basically, my career started as an MC, to be in there fully in the entertainment space, but I've always been a dancer as a young Mosotho boy. But now to stepping into big stages, having to collab with other corporate companies in Lesotho, I was an MC, but I'm still an MC even now. So I used to do the festivals, corporate events, weddings, all kinds of events. So now, him being a dancer, he was like the only guy that inspires me in Lesotho. I think it's Mavele. So let me just try to see if now he's now my role model. So let me just obviously work with him. That's where it started. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're building, talking about really building onto a legacy of artists from the Mountain Kingdom, Lesotho. We've got Mavele and Tesh as a duo in studio with us here on Channel Africa. Let's take a break. I want to talk about building on that legacy in contemporary Southern Africa. We're back after this.
Midday vibes, great programming, and good company. This is Channel Africa.
Parlez-vous couramment le français? Êtes-vous passionné par la radio? Et êtes-vous qualifié pour travailler en Afrique du Sud? Envoyez-nous votre CV et vos 3 minutes démo en MP3 à @channelafrica.co.za pour avoir une chance de rejoindre la famille Channel Africa. Si vous n'avez pas de réponse après 14 jours, cela signifie que vous n'avez pas été retenu. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Whatever you want to hear about today's talk, you can only get it on the Upside. Every weekday, 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time.
It's 19 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. We are hanging out in studio with the Lesotho duo Mavele and Tash. They're going to be giving us our DJ mix this afternoon, which is very, very exciting. I can't wait to hear what they've got cooked up for us. If you're hearing in the background some kushy, they're enjoying some sweets in studio. And you can see them obviously on our cameras at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. Gents, let's talk about your music. If you were to describe to someone listening in to your music for the very first time, how would you describe it? What genres are you putting together? Because from what I have heard, you are mixing. It's not just one particular genre. So maybe Tash, you can actually take this one and give us just a feel of the type of music that the both of you put together.
Okay. The thing is, we are entertainers, not DJs. Yeah, we can say we are DJs, but we are entertainers.
Yeah.
Entertainers make people happy with all kind of music.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for us playing hip hop, amapiano, to all those music, is because we are not making it for us.
We are trying to accommodate everybody. Yeah. So the kind of music that we do is just Scoop, yes, it's a kick music. So if you can see now, we have a couple of songs that now we have released. We have another one that we have done with Mahut and Fed Cook. There's a Zulu guy in that song, but we made it clear that we also want the Sesotho element in that song. So we are not running away from our culture. Remember, now we are the ambassadors of Sesotho. So everything that we do, we make sure that we still embrace our culture. You understand? So even if we tap into Amapiano, we'll still have that element of Sesotho verses in it. So basically now what you are focusing on now directly, now we are moving into Sekupu genre. That's the genre that we have created for ourselves, because the guys from home, Bomentatistana, Bomalume Vector, you know them guys?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. I'm actually I surprised myself. I actually know them.
Oh my goodness.
She's got their numbers.
Oh, nice.
No, I don't.
Yeah, shout out. So basically, but now what they have created is called Tipi music. It's a Sotho hip hop, you understand? And I was like, no guys, we cannot go to one genre, all of us. Remember, we still have people who are going for groove, but who are Basotho, you understand? They still want to. But we are not going to run away from the fact that the Amapiano music is taking all over the world.
Yeah.
So now let's do the sound, but with our language. You understand? So basically, that's what you are doing now. We have the elements of Amapiano, and then we have the elements of Sekupu in the creation of the sound that we are doing from Lesotho, and then we put them together, and then it's called Sekupu. Yeah.
Love that.
Sekupu semonate.
Sekupu semonate.
Yeah. That's our sound.
Hey, Lang, you must put that on a t-shirt.
I love
it.
Shout out.
It was here on the Upside.
I'm the ideas generator. You know, I love how you're explaining this, because it just makes all kinds of sense. And when we trace the music, a lot of the musicians that come from Lesotho, who've really come into with the jazz flavors, but keeping the integrity of the language in there. Bobudaza, I'm trying to think of some feminines. Male
yes. I don't know if you know.
I don't know, but
but obviously, yes.
So how do you? Because I was having a conversation with another musician, on a different platform, around how we have stopped kind of chasing genres. We're not listening to music that really just makes us feel whole and full. So in you keeping perhaps that in mind as to, because you mentioned that you want to serve everyone.
Yes, absolutely.
Are you mindful of, stepping out of, boxes like, it's a this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it. How do you open yourself up to just creating a feeling instead of a genre?
Obviously, the music has to speak to you. Like the music must have a message through it. So in our language, now I believe in music that I can listen to in the next coming 10 years. I don't believe in making music. Even that's it. Even that's the track, which is something that is happening now. It's common now. But from where we come from, if you could listen to our hip hop songs, also too, they have a message. We're actually translating a story through the music. So even now, when we are tapping into Amapiano, we are going to tap with the same attitude of, let's do the music that people will relate with. Let's not just do, yes, it's a vibe music. People can vibe to it. But in that vibe, there also has to be a message that is speaking through the music. Yeah.
Listening into the young artists coming from Lesotho who are celebrating the culture, the language of Basotho. And then you go to other countries, into Africa, into South Africa, and you hear that there's more English than there is, and I'm not specifically targeting South Africa, but the way there's more English than there is the local indigenous language. As you are ambassadors of Lesotho,
yes,
do you go around to the different countries where you play and advocate that there be more of the indigenous languages being sung commercially as well from the artists when you guys perform and when you tour different countries?
Yeah, obviously, like I said, he mentioned that we are entertainers. So let's say now we are going to play in UK. Obviously, most of those people in there, they don't know Sesotho.
Of course,
yes. But now we need to be at the level where whatever the image that we're going to bring on stage, it has to speak. Remember, people can just see you singing, but they can't even hear what you are saying. But the energy that you are going to give them is going to make it easy for them to connect with you. So with Lesotho, remember, we still have barriers of Sesotho. Like you cannot go to KwaZulu-Natal and fully sing your Sesotho songs. You understand? I was asking one of my guys, why don't we have Basotho who are performing in Durban July, at the Durban July? Because we need to pick up our songs. So next year we are the ones who are going to kill it in Durban July. You understand? Yeah, definitely.
But then that's where the power of collaboration comes in, then, because you were mentioning the gentleman Obinanka Sizulu that is part of the collective. That is the power of building community within the space of music. So how do you plan to do that then? Because, sometimes it's just so unfortunate that languages come up, form these invisible barriers now I can't speak to you because you speak a different language to me. Yeah.
So obviously, like now, like I said to you, we're already working with like the Bokaps of Mahuta Bomang. We have guys from Joburg who are rooted into their culture, who are the Zulus, you understand? And then there's us with Sesotho. So now when we make a song, Sesotho and isiZulu, it says we are catering for Basotho and the Zulus, you understand? So now for us to penetrate the market in Durban, Eastern Cape, you understand? We need to have a collab. We need to have an international collab, because it's not only for the Zulus or the Xhosa speaking. We also need to have an element of English in our songs, so that our music can be played in Nigeria, you understand? Mozambique, all of them, you understand? So I think it's more of understanding that we need to work together as a team. We need to collaborate with different languages, because I always say we are Africa without borders. If it wasn't of the borders, we would be one thing as Africans.
Oh, love that. I want to throw some, we are running out of time. I want to throw some quick fire questions to the both of you, right? And you can answer and be as honest as you can. Who's more likely to be late for a gig?
But now, let me tell you the problem about him, this guy. Yes, it's him, obviously.
Okay. All right, you can explain that afterwards. You'll explain it afterwards. Who has the better dance moves?
I think both of us.
Who spends more time choosing an outfit?
Both of us. I cannot be both of us.
I get a feeling it's my bad.
That's what I'm saying.
I get a feeling it's you.
Who is the bigger joker between the two of you?
Awana banana. Yo.
Who's most likely to hype up the crowd first between the two of you?
Mavele.
Who's the better cook?
None of the above.
Who handles stress better on stage?
Mavele.
Who would survive longer without their phone?
Okay, for me, my phone I use it for work. It's
The
for
fact
work.
that you have to justify it, it's you. You wouldn't survive. Gentlemen, what's coming up with the mix that you've mixed up for us on the upside? What can we expect on that mix this afternoon?
Yo, that mix is fire. The first one that we've started with that mix, it's a Sesotho song, but it get them too, but Eric na kimang anaking ere morena e bua ka kimang kinye ka hlola morena ha ona ntho ka hlola morena modimo. So there's nothing that is beyond God's power, you understand? So it's a Sesotho song, so we had to start with the Sesotho song because that's us, we are the ambassadors of Sesotho. So obviously we have after that song we have Abandona Bakho
abantwana bakho bana ba hao.
So obviously that mix on its own it's a storytelling mix, but somewhere is we are going up. Yes.
I love it for you.
It's 30 minutes of the 2 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest in sports with Musibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thank you so much, Deborah. Very good afternoon from the Sports Day. So it's all about the CHAN quarterfinals today. Taifa Stars will step onto the pitch of Dar es Salaam's Benjamin Mkapa Stadium when they are not just facing Morocco, but they will be facing history in the process. So Tanzania have already broken new ground by topping Group B at the Total Energies African Nations Championship 2024. But tonight's quarterfinal will be a test whether, of belief only, but home passion as well as a tactical discipline that can outwit the experience of the two-time champions in Morocco. So whatever the outcome is going to be like at the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium tonight, it promises to be one of CHAN's 2024 defining nights, a contest of ambition, identity as well as national pride. And kick-off at the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium out in Tanzania is at 7 p.m. Central African time. That's of course the second quarterfinal, while in the first quarterfinal Kenya will be up against Algeria for a place in the semi-finals of the ongoing competition. And of course this is the first time that Kenya have been in the knockout stages of a CAF competition, and they'll be hoping to make history today when they face off of course with their opponents for a place in the semi-finals of this encounter. In tennis news now, Australian Nick Kyrgios withdrew from the US Open for a third straight year on Thursday. Now wrist, ankle as well as knee injuries have kept the former Wimbledon finalist largely out of action since 2023. Kyrgios is not just 1-4 in the singles matches, but the season has dropped to 644 in the ATP rankings. A 7-time winner on the ATP Tour, Kyrgios also peaked at number 13 back in October of 2016. He has also earned more than $12.6 million in prize money since, of course, starting to play tennis at a professional level. He lost to Novak Djokovic in the 2022 Wimbledon final before reaching the quarterfinals at the US Open that year, which was his highest finish in a Grand Slam tournament. In cricket news now, Matthew Brisky's 88 as well as a half century from Tristan Stubbs helped South Africa post a competitive total of 277 all out after being asked to bat first in the second one-day international against Australia at the Great Barrier Reef Arena in the city of Mackay earlier on today. So South Africa have officially won the second ODI by 84 runs, beating Australia once again in their home turf. South Africa having won the first match by 98 runs, with Aiden Markram, the captain, scoring in that match with 82 runs, while Keshav Maharaj claimed a career best best of 5 for 33 to bowl the hosts out for 198 in reply to the Proteas 296 for 8 in the first innings of the first ODI match. So the third and final ODI will be taking place on Sunday. South Africa currently leading at 2-0. They've won it with a game to spare, and of course they'll be hoping for a whitewash against the Australians, one of the best teams in the world at the moment when it comes to ODI cricket. We'll stay with cricket. The countdown to the 2027 ICC Men's Cricket World Cup has officially begun, as the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie, announced. The local organising committee board at Cricket South Africa headquarters in Melrose in Johannesburg on Thursday. McKenzie admitted that there's a few touch-ups to be done, but believes the country has now proven itself enough on the world stage to host an event of this magnitude.
We've hosted a Soccer World Cup, but there's no country in the world that hosts any event without touch-ups also. What I must add is what's important for people to know about the Government of National Unity is that one of the KPIs that I have is that we must bring big events to South Africa. But our country, South Africa, if I have to give another name for South Africa, is Kamsdawa, Kamsdaman. Kamsdaman, Kamsdawa. South Africa always, when it is necessary for South Africa to rise to the occasion, it never fails.
Right, so that concludes your sports news this hour. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, simply send us an email. That's to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za, or give us a call. The newsroom line is +27 11714 4459. Back with the final sports update for the upside in the third and final hour of the show. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Je, una jambo lolote akilini mwako? Je, una shauku kuhusu masuala muhimu? Na je, una maoni ambayo unataka yasikike? Kweli, hili jukwaa ni la kwako. Piga simu au tuandikie kwenda WhatsApp namba alama ya kujumulisha 2760552594 na tutakupigia simu.
Mtangazaji wa habari zetu za Afrika Kusini mjini Johannesburg.
Hivyo unaweza kuwa mshirika kwenye matangazo yetu. Sio mazungumzo tu, ni fursa yako ya kuchangia maoni yako na kushirikiana na jumuiya ya wasikilizaji wanaotamani mtazamo wako. Tufuate kwenye mitandao ya kijamii. Tembelea tovuti yetu www.channelafrica.co.za na uwe tayari kushiriki na kuchangia maoni yako kwenye Channel Africa. Channel Africa, mtazamo wa Kiafrika.
They talk about what Africans say about Africa.
36 minutes after 2 p.m. Central African Time. Let's get the latest in business news now with Matapelo Mahape.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Deboho, and good afternoon. President Cyril Ramaphosa says his visit to Japan has been impactful as South Africa seeks to deepen trade with a number of countries. Ramaphosa took part in the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development Summit. This year's gathering took place at a time of unprecedented threats to global peace and disruption to global trade. A number of African leaders also attended the summit.
South Africa seeks to deepen inter-Africa trade while becoming a continental industrial platform from which Japanese and other global firms can expand and export into our continent. We're actively working with the AFCFTA Secretariat to finalize value chain protocols in automotive, agro-processing, pharmaceuticals and textiles.
And South Sudan's President Salva Kiir has fired the country's finance minister, the 7th replacement to the position since 2020. Kiir gave no reason for firing Mariel Dongren Atta, who had held the post since July of 2024. South Sudan's economic performance has faced hurdles in recent years amid communal violence, crude oil export revenue having dwindled since a 2013-2018 civil war, and more recently export disruptions due to war in neighboring Sudan. The International Monetary Fund forecast a 4.3% contraction of the economy for 2025 and inflation of 65.7% for the same period. And South Africa's Finance Minister, Enoch Godongwana, has warned that the country's ballooning debt is eating into money meant for schools and hospitals. Public debt is expected to soar at 77.4% of GDP this year, and he says more than $28 billion has been poured into failing state-owned enterprises since 2018, draining funds from health and education. Godongwana was speaking at a workshop designed to get the public's input into making trade-offs when setting the country's budget. This comes after the budget was rejected by Parliament twice this year, when political parties couldn't agree on the proposal to increase VAT. The minister is hoping for a smoother process this time around when he delivers the medium-term budget policy statement on November 12th.
520 billion rand bailing out state-owned enterprises. Where was that money coming from? 243 from education and health, almost 53 billion rand from defense, 69 billion rand from the police. There's nothing to cut in sports, arts and culture. When we want to cut budget, we cut from those who have got a bigger budget, and they become the victims. So we're in the process of correcting that budget, those budgets, and in an environment where it's not an easy task to increase taxes. So I thought I'm talking a long way to say we will welcome some ideas.
In a landmark move for South Africa's rail industry, Transport Minister Barbara Creecy has officially announced the conclusion of Transnet's adjudication process to select new private train operating companies. Speaking at a media briefing today in Pretoria, the minister hailed the development as a critical milestone in the country's rail reform agenda. The announcement signals the start of open access to Transnet Frail Rail Network, a move expected to boost efficiency, drive inclusive economic growth, and unlock much needed job opportunities across the logistics sector.
Transnet, through its operating division, TRIM, has completed the adjudication process to select new train operating companies. This is a significant step in our rail reform journey and makes open access to freight rail a reality in our country. It will contribute to a more efficient, reliable and sustainable rail system that can promote inclusive growth and, of course, ensure job retention and future job creation.
And U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's speech at the Jackson Hole Economic Conference is expected to be influenced by mixed economic data. Investors are expecting a rate cut from Trump, and two Fed governors have been pushing for cuts amid concerns about the labor market weakening faster than headline employment data suggests. However, inflation remains above the Fed's 2% target and is expected to rise as Trump's import tariffs impact retail prices. This could send a dangerous message to consumers, as the Fed's credibility in controlling inflation is one of its major assets. A look at your financial indicators. One US dollar in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 naira 535. In Botswana, it's 13 pula 28. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 38. And Zambia, it's 23 kwacha 21. The BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 real 47. Russia, it's 80 rubles 49. India, it's 87 rupees 17. In China, it's 70 yuan 18. And in South Africa, $1 is trading at 17 rand 70 cents. A look at your commodities. The gold is trading at $3,327 and platinum at $1,330 per ounce, while the Brent crude oil is at $67.66 a barrel. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business News, I am Matabela Mahabe.
Business News on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
Ukatili wa kijinsia unaharibu maisha na kutenga jamii. Hutokea nyumbani, shuleni, kazini na mara nyingi kwa ukimya. Lakini hauwezi kuendelea. Ukiona, ongea. Ikiwa unaumia, funguka, kwa sababu kutofanya lolote sio chaguo. Sikiliza vituo vyote 19 vya redio kuanzia Jumatano ya tarehe 23 Julai kwenye mijadala, ushauri, tamthilia, maonyesho ya elimu na mahojiano na wataalamu, manusura, watunga sheria na nchi nzima iliyoathirika na ukatili wa kijinsia kwenye vituo vyako pendwa vya redio. Piga simu 0800-428-428 ili kuripoti unyanyasaji au kupata msaada. GBV ikomeshwe na wewe. Ujumbe huu umeletwa kwenu na shirika la SABC.
Broadcasting in 5 different languages, connecting the continent. This is Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Welcome back. This is us still in the golden hour of the Upside on a Friday. We are fast approaching 2:45 p.m. and we're very excited to play a mix by Mavele and Tesh, who are a duo from Lesotho joining us in studio. We were just talking about the music. And before we push play, okay, I want to ask Tesh just quickly your social media handles and also how we can book you if we want spring and summer that's coming up.
Okay, Instagram Tesh LS, then we have a page Mavele and Tesh, and on Facebook Tesh Sikupu Morana Tesh, then on TikTok Tesh LS.
Okay, nice one. Awesome stuff. Okay, Mavele, interested into this wonderful mix. Tell us a little bit about it, and then we push play.
Yeah, so obviously that music was designed in such a way that you are telling the story of it. Like I said, the first song, obviously, it's a Sesotho song, but it's the Mtuda song. It's not a Basotho song. So obviously it's the Mtuda, and then the rest of the songs are the local songs, that's South Africa. But obviously we are telling the story through the mix. Yeah. Okay, nice one. Let's go for it. Thank you for joining us. Yo, we had so much fun. Thank you so much, guys.
Tune in and turn up the volume. This is Channel Africa. The Upside. On the Upside. Your voice matters.
Oh, Antonella, Kabitsa bitola yankarabel Oh anhulela Oh antonela Kabitsa bitola yankarabel Berio Kabitsa bitola yankarabel Kurenka moregela 2 years Arule fati Kimo jase ke star Mudimu star Mudimu ke star When I was star Arule fati Kimo jase ke star
Hai Sishaba sa morena ke tswa vale kwana ke tla ka bohale Ke ya bere mo hau wa morena na ke kupile bohlale Ke lwanne ntwa e molemo bile ke hlotse ke mohale Wana suwi tsepela morena ho tla loka e segale Ulwaneti 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 Katapelo kahlulana Udimonenza mbona lena
Kahula
Ulwaneti Baye mulimo ulwaneti Katapelo kahlulana Udimonenza mbona lena
The KwaZulu-Natal Convention Bureau, in collaboration with Milvest Advisory and the city of Umhlathuze, bring you the 2025 Tourism Investment Forum Africa. As a global platform for local action, the Tourism Investment Africa aims to promote the secondary and tertiary cities and regions as attractive investment and tourism hubs. Be part of the movement transforming tourism in Africa. Join us for the TIFA 2025 from August 27 to 29 at Tembela Venue, Richards Bay, KZN, South Africa.
Let the Upside transport you from Cape to Cairo every weekday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time.
Izikhalo zethu baba singabantwana bakho abubaxolele na bangamazwi Yesu abakunyama khanyisa 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 unyama khanyisa 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 abuya sizwa na Siyafika na izikhalo zethu abasingabantwana bakho abubaxolele na bangamazwi Yesu abakunyama khanyisa 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 unyama khanyisa khanyisa khanyisa
Yeah, yeah.
man nangu maphuma man hey yebo man Sambe man hey wena man ay wena man uthini man hamba kanjani so funny man so funny man uyithanda kanjani ay wena man hamba kanjani so funny man uyithanda kanjani ay wena man hamba kanjani so funny man uyithanda kanjani bakithi labafuna be-shake senders I don't understand Papeti truck am I under 10 Papeti vibe am I 2000 Mangithi labafana be-shake senders Hey, I don't understand Papeti truck am I under 10 Papeti vibe am I 2000 I know mungenzani ngikubatele U-uncool sekabathele Angithi umaphuma sekabafalele Emavaskozini bathi kuyashele I know mungenzani ngikubatele U-uncool sekabathele Angithi umaphuma sekabafalele Emavaskozini bathi kuyashelela man Hayi wena mani Hayi Babonile Hayi Kanjalo Jay wena mani Hayi hambana Hayi hambana Ay, hambana hey ay, hambana ay, wena man, athini man, hamba kanjani, ay, so funny man, uyithanda kanjani.
Asikonakele ke manje sawa. Ngizela bafana wenza. Asiyenze kanje sawa. Ayi wena sika no. Uma sikini, mawuphethe thina vele kashele. 2.2 1 by 1 you shake senders emakhoneni.
Mateko Musito and Tebogo Kuleni on the upside.
Mavele and Tash, that mix. Check them out on social media to see where they'll be playing next and also to follow their journey. And go on to all streaming platforms and listen to their music. It's now 3 p.m. Central African time. We've entered the final hour of the show. But first, let's get the latest news with Onel Nsinzi.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
Thank you, Tebogo. Looking at your top stories, Nigerian president reiterates call for Africa to be granted permanent representation in the United Nations, and over 100,000 children at risk of dying from acute malnutrition in Gaza. Your latest news. Greetings to our listeners. Nigerian President Bola Tinubu has reiterated his call for Africa to be granted permanent representation on the United Nations Security Council. Addressing a plenary session on peace and stability at the 9th Tokyo International Conference for Africa Development in Japan this week, he insisted that the continent should get 2 seats with full veto powers. A political analyst at the University of Dundee in the United Kingdom, Musa Ndunge.
But as 8 years later, and given the size of the African population, given the fact that many of the conflicts the world is dealing with are harbored in the African continent, the call by President Tinubu is a fair one that argues that Africa needs to be given a greater say in the security management of the world. Also, given the fact that many African countries, including Nigeria, contribute quite large numbers in terms of UN's peacekeeping forces. And so it is a justifiable call that Tinubu makes. And it is interesting that it is a call that the great powers themselves have also supported. We know that the United States
The UK has agreed to pay $4 million in compensation to residents living near Kenyan Wildfire Conservancy. This follows a fire that sparked by a British military exercise in 2021. The British Army conduct joint exercises with Kenya in the northern Laikipia region, where it has a base in the town of Nanyuki. The fire broke out in the nearby Lodaiga in March 2021. Residents of Lodaiga area accused the British Army training unit of causing the wildfire that destroyed much of a nature reserve, leaving behind ordinances that injured locals. Wits University School of Governance, Alex Vandayeva, says South Africa needs to take action to end the high level of corruption and financial mismanagement in government. He was speaking at a symposium in remembrance of whistleblowers and former Gauteng Health senior official Babita Deokaran in Johannesburg. Tomorrow will mark 4 years since Deokaran was gunned down outside her Johannesburg home. At the time of her murder, she had flagged a multi-million US fraud tender at Tembisa Hospital. Professor Vandayeva says corruption filters from the top to the bottom.
We've allowed people to establish very rapidly networks of extraction at the top of these systems, which can close down anything anywhere in the system, so the laws don't apply. And we have to recognize that this is going to continue to exist, because this silence that we have in terms of the prosecution and the disciplinary actions, the minimal and the maximal, tells the story. It's the hidden fingerprint of what's going on in the system.
Some human rights activists in Zimbabwe have called on those responsible for the killing and torturing of over 20,000 people of Matebele land in the 1980s to be investigated and prosecuted, including the current president Emmerson Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa has launched an initiative to foster healing over the killings, but has been accused of being the perpetrator and mastermind behind the attacks. The IPC says more than 130,000 children under 5 are at risk of dying from acute malnutrition in Gaza. The Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, or IPC, is an internationally recognized body for determining global food insecurity, particularly in conflict zones. The IPC has released a report confirming that there is now a famine in the city. Israel has dismissed the IPC's findings, claiming they are based on a biased report. Nigerian President Bola Tinubu has reiterated his call for Africa to be granted permanent representation on the United Nations Security Council. Now, for any news stories you'd like to share with us, please send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us at +27 11 714 4459. Channel Africa News, I'm Oneli Tsinzi.
SABC News. The African Perspective.
It is 6 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Welcome to the final hour of The Upside on Channel Africa, The African Perspective, with Tebogo Lekuleni and Mateko Mosito, coming to you live still from the Auckland Park studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. Join us on our social media platforms where you can stream the show live at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube, and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. Let us know how your Friday is going. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Let us know on our WhatsApp line, +2763 406 9126. In this hour, we get into conversation with Heavy K. He's got a song out. I know he's got the other song, Babize Bonke. But he just dropped another one today. I just checked. I was like on Spotify.
I can't keep up. Which one is this one now?
Oh, which one is this one? It's a fire one.
Wow.
After bo inde, now go gude. Come on.
And babi sebo. Oh my goodness. I'm clearly here to learn a lot. But it's so wonderful to see that we're talking to just relevant people, relevant African creatives in the space of music that are inspiring others to do the same. So DJ and producer Heavy K is going to be joining us. We're going to talk to him about all this new music that he's producing.
Sure. So many.
And also... as I understand it, there's something to do with the Grammy Recording Academy class for 2025.
Class of 2025,
Hey, man. Things are happening out there.
He's busy, man. He's busy.
African creatives are busy.
I love it. Making it globally. Global stages, they're being recognized everywhere, and we love it. So that conversation is coming up next. Stay tuned. And just another thought. I think as the workforce, as the labor force, we need to sign a petition that when payday falls on a Monday or a Tuesday, we must be paid on Friday. Because I know quite a few people, this weekend will be a long weekend.
It's going to be terrible.
Who get paid on the 25th. I'm not saying it's going to be a long. I'm just saying, for some people it will be a long weekend. So maybe we must sign a petition, Namatseko, and say, from now on, employers, if payment day falls Monday or Tuesday, pay them on Friday. Doesn't that sound good?
It sounds juicy. It sounds nothing quite like a payment on a Friday, man. That is the juiciest thing on the planet, honestly. But, I've heard companies that actually, have those nice little incentives for their employers, beautiful things on... Women's Month and pay on Friday and knock off early on a Friday and all these things. But I hear that it should be a more general kind of law, where that happens. I think that would be wonderful. I endorse that.
We'll sign the petition, don't worry. We'll sign it throughout the whole continent, not just in South Africa. Throughout the whole continent, we'll sign the petition. But it's 10 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. Welcome to the final hour of The Upside. Our conversation with Heavy K is coming up next.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine. Weekdays, 6 till 9.
Former politician and diplomat. He's the leader of the Democratic Alliance Party at one stage, and also served as South Africa's ambassador to Argentina, Uruguay and Paraguay. Ambassador Tony Leon, if you were party leader now and in the GNU, what would you be pushing for?
I can speak with some direct experience because, as you might know, I was actually one of the negotiators of the GNU last year when it was formed. What I'd be pushing for is to hold the government or the president's feet to the fire on actually operationalizing the agreement that was implemented. Unfortunately, that agreement has been honored only in its breach. And I think, go back to basics and just say, okay, we're not going any further with this arrangement until we actually implement these steps.
Mornings made better with Peter and Asanda on Rise and Shine. No matter where you are, Channel Africa is always with you.
lena kamhlaba uyalingana sengilitholile ukhozi indlela imkhombe lena kamhlaba uyalingana sengithwese ngesambulo leli phupho lokudala ngilifisa ukulifeza sengithwese ngesambulo leli phupho lokudala ngilifisa ukulifeza babize bonke ngabagama ngabe babikhona babize bonke ngabagama ngabe babikhona wasizikhukula zihambele zibonga zelandi mazikule sasilwa sonke wasizikhukula zihambele zibonga zelandi mazikule sasilwa sonke wasizikhukula zihambele zibonga zelandi mazikule sasilwa sonke wasizikhukula zihambele zibonga zelandi mazikule sasilwa sonke.
Thanks for tuning in to The Upside here on Channel Africa. A pleasure to have you join us as we enjoy some brand new sounds because, listen, today we are joined by one of South Africa's most influential music producers from here in South Africa. He's not only a DJ, he's just an amazing entertainer. Heavy K, also known as the drum boss, just in case you didn't know. So from his humble beginnings in Fear Plus, Tabeja, to beginning a multi-platinum selling career, and now a member of the Grammy Recording Academy class of the year 2025. Okay, Heavy K has clearly shaped the sound of Afro House as we're hearing it and pioneered the explosive new genre known as three-step. This is a three-step track, right?
Three-step. And also, 1 point something million view or streams on Spotify, over 700,000 the lyrical video. So when we say that he is a drum boss and a three-step godfather, it's him. Who else are we gonna throw in there?
We know what we're talking about when we say that. Okay, sounds amazing. His latest single, Babize Bonke, is what we just heard, correct?
That's the song. That's the song.
That's the song.
I even forgot to mention the song, the name of the song.
Yeah.
Babize
Bonke.
Okay, call them all them. Bring all of them. He features Ntando Yamahlubi and talk music in that one that we were listening to. Again, over 1.3 million streams on Spotify and over 700,000 streams when it comes to the lyrical video. So he knows a thing or two about getting people to listen to his music, because I'm going through his catalog here, not just his catalog, but the top songs, right? Ulele, 6 million, In There, the one we all love, 4.8 million. These are all on Spotify. So if there's one thing that Heavy K knows how to do, is get people to listen to his music. And whether you're in South Africa, in Nigeria, in Angola, you are listening to Heavy K's music. And that is beautiful.
We love that. We love that for him, and we love it for all the music lovers around the continent that just love a good, solid dance floor filler. Heavy K joins us on the line. How are you doing, Mr. What do we call him? Godfather.
Godfather of South Africa's new global sound three-step.
That's the one right there. How are you?
I am good, man. How you guys doing?
How does it feel to be the godfather of something? Isn't that scary?
But it doesn't start now. I mean,
right.
It's been a long time, me doing this, and yeah, because I feel like I stood the test of time, and this whole thing, though, it didn't start with me, It started, with someone that called himself a father of certain people. So if
Right.
He calls himself a father. Then clearly I'm a godfather. I'm a grandfather. You know?
I love that. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Okay, so we just played Babize Bonke. It's clearly a big hit. I mean, we don't even have to have a discussion about it because the numbers don't lie. They are there, okay? Thousands and thousands and thousands of views within a very short space of time. What is the story behind the music? And also, perhaps you can just share your formula. I mean, how, you mentioned that you've been doing it a long time, but it's very easy to be like someone that just did the one song and then you just couldn't be able to maintain it going forward. You were able to maintain it. So, Babize Bonke, a huge song, the story behind it, and just your winning formula in releasing these songs.
Yeah. Okay, so the thing for me, firstly, I feel like music for me it was like a calling. You understand? So when something is a calling, I think it goes beyond just and also maybe the way I started, because when I started music, I never cared about money, because, even my first album, the one that actually changed the whole South African game, as a whole, I did that album in the shack. I was living PE back at home. I did that album in the shack, and it was crazy because even guys at Galawa believed in me in the time, and they gave me a chance. And that's the album that changed the whole sound of South African dance till today, you understand? So for me, I feel like it's always been driven by the talent and the music, and try to follow and see where God wants to take me, So for me, it was never about the money. The money came as a bonus as time goes by, the demand and all of that, So at the same time, I try by all means to stay grounded, you understand me? I don't let the money must make a difference, in my life, but not make me different, That was always my motto, the success, it must come, and make a difference, and of course, put my name there was Heavy K nice and established, name, not just in South Africa, also like globally, I'm a well-known person. So that must happen, but me as a person must never lose touch with the reality and forget where I come from. And that's one thing about me. That's the first one, because I cannot separate it from me working, because that helps me now also in the studio to be able to be myself and always remember that why am I doing this, and why am I doing this, and I'm doing this for the people, man. And now I feel like I believe that is my whole purpose, to make great music, for the people, So for me, I'm the biggest critic of myself. So whenever I'm in the studio, the creative process, I always try to separate Mkhululi and Heavy K, and then listen to the song as Mkhululi and say, okay, if Heavy K dropped the song, this song that I'm working on, would it be a wow or would it be just another song? You understand? Nice. So I'm a big critic of myself, and if then I listen to the song as Mkhululi, and I feel like, nah, Heavy, you can do better, man. You can do better. Definitely, that's not the song that I will be releasing. Alright, that's a song that requires more work. You understand me? But if it's a song that takes Mkhululi immediately, you understand me, and then I know then that's the song that I should go for. You understand me? And also, sometimes I do invite people in the studio, but I don't want. I also don't like surrounding myself with people that also just who are a yes man kind of people. And sometimes you can have people close to you because of you are the star. Everything that you do, you understand? If you can say to them, hey, I'm jumping over a cliff, they will also jump with you, even though they know that, you understand, we can't be jumping over the cliff, we'll get our legs broken, you understand? So for me, I like to keep the realest people close to me, and I also like getting opinions from people who are not fazed by the fact that I'm with Heavy K or whatever the status. People who can say, hi, Heavy. No. My man, this song, compared to your level, this one is not the one. But if those people listen to a song and they're like, oh, Heavy, this is the one, then I know those are people that are giving me the real opinion about the sentence song, understand? So that's how I try, by all means. But more than anything, I just feel like being able to make songs that resonate with people for so many years, I always say there must be some higher power. I understand. I believe a lot in higher power, and also like God has blessed me with this gift, and now I just found and mastered the way of how to use it. You understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So that's basically it. And Babize Bonke also is kind of like a a very deep song, you know, because it has a deep meaning, you know. It also talks about patience. It also like embraces people who actually not to be threatened by other people's success, you know, especially with us black people. I'm going to say that because there's a lot of this thing when you start winning, you're always looking for the negative part or how to pull them down. So basically, the song says, I can see that others are being called, their names are being called, they're doing their thing, they're living their dreams, but I just hope that my name also one day will be called. Or whatever. So that's the whole message behind the song, you know, that we can actually all be big in our own way, we can all achieve in our own way without bringing each other down, kind of thing. Yeah.
We're currently in conversation with the drum boss, the hit maker, the godfather of South Africa's three-step, Heavy K. He dropped Babi Zebonke. There's another song that he dropped literally today, Gude, and we'll talk about it right after this.
Você é fluente em português? É apaixonado por rádio e quer trabalhar na África do Sul? Você tem documentos que o qualificam para trabalhar na África do Sul? Nesse caso, podemos ter uma oportunidade para você trabalhar no Canal África. Envie seu currículo e demonstração para Canal África at newsroom@channelafrica.co.za. Lembre-se, se você não receber alguma resposta nossa em 14 dias, isso significa que você não foi selecionado. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the Upside.
25 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. We are still joined on the line by multi-award-winning producer Heavy K, the godfather of three-step. Heavy K, congratulations on the song, Babi Zebonke. We understand that today there was another one that was dropped called Gude. Tell us about that one.
Yeah. Actually, I dropped a new song today. Happy release day to myself.
Is it your birthday? Happy release?
No.
Happy release day.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I did that one also with Ndando, but also with the legendary, you know, Professor. You know that Heavy K and Professor combo, man.
Yeah.
It's a deadly one, man. We never miss, you know. So Good is also a little bit, as now we're preparing for summer, it's a little bit light. But this Zebonke is a very special song, close to my heart. You know, we had to pass that message because it's very important to have that. But Good Day is a little bit light, you know, it feels good, it's colorful, you know, we are going towards the summer now, you know, it's time to embrace, you know, love, it's time to embrace the good times and kind of thing. So basically the song is all about a guy who's just trying to, you know, win his girl back over again, just to say, no, baby, I'm pressing a reset button, I've seen my mistakes, you know, so let's not let this thing get too far, and let's fix it before it gets too, you know, too bad kind of thing. So basically it's just the guy that's singing, you know, it's a very beautiful and a touching song, and very colorful, and I love it, you know.
I love the direction that you're going in. I think it's just so progressive to see that, and also just the conversation that you have with yourself, very interesting, because, you know, you see yourself as the demographic, and not only that, but you want to serve your people good quality music, and if it's not good to you, it's definitely not going to be good to the next person. I'm very interested to find out very quickly, Heavy K, around the Grammy Recording Academy. Please tell me about that, because that sounds like not only a beautiful thing for you, but it just sounds like a great African story, you know, to take to the world. So how did you get into that space?
Yeah, actually, I felt like it was long overdue, but again, with me, I always go also with God's timing, you know, it's always the right timing, you understand me, because I've done collabs before, like, you know, just that a lot of people don't know, because most of the time, you know, I'm not a guy that, you know, like makes a lot of noise about stuff, you know, that I'll achieve these things on my own, because already there's remixes that I've done for Ed Sheeran. You understand me? There's remixes I've done before, the songs I did with Dana Boy back in the day, Davido, you know. So I've been on that global space, because also most of my gigs, like maybe like 70% of my gigs is always like outside the country and all of that, you know. So I always felt like, you know, I want to do this kind of thing, but I felt like also me, you know, I wasn't really putting an effort towards it because I just wanted to work first. I just have all this work. For me, I feel like it's a perfect time. For me, it's a huge milestone. As I said that I made my first album in a shack in PE, back in PE at home, you know. So for me to be listed as one of the Recording Academy members, you know, now I can vote now. Now I can submit my own. Now I can submit. You know, I can be part of the awards. I've already been invited already to attend the ceremony. You understand? I've started working on what I'm gonna wear. You understand? Who I'm going with. You know, so it's actually a big thing. A boy from the streets of PE to the world. You know, so for me, this is a huge milestone. I don't take it for granted. You know, and definitely I think this is the right moment because judging also with the fact that 3Step now is on the rise, and there's also some very interesting international features as well that I've been working on. So I think like everything is just aligning, man. I just feel like I'm aligning. You know, I have a manager. Shout out to my manager, man. You know, but I feel like my number one manager is God, man. When God manages you, man, everything, man, just falls in place at the right time.
Heavy K, it's been an honor chatting with you. Thank you so much for the beautiful music that you're releasing, and all the best with the upcoming performances, the upcoming songs, and maybe even an album. We don't know what's coming up next for Heavy K, but thank you so much for keeping us dancing on the dance floor, keeping us feeling good through your music. We appreciate your time on the Upside. Thank you so much.
All right, my brother. Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah.
The multi-award-winning producer, DJ Afro and Afro House 3Step pioneer, Heavy K on the Upside. It's 30 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African Time. Let's get the final sports news with Musibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you so much, Tebogo. Very good afternoon again from the sports desk. So the Springbok women's side will open the the Women's Rugby World Cup 2025 campaign with a squad laden with Test as well as World Cup experience when they take on Brazil at Franklin's Garden in Northampton on Sunday. So only 4 players in the starting team. That's the likes of Michaela Samboya, Ayanda Malinga, Biandri Dolph, as well as Daniel Lochner have not played in a Women's Rugby World Cup tournament before, while Vena Ubusi as well as Nomthandazo Mdiga are the only replacements who have not played at the global showpiece before. Let's hear from the coach, Swayze de Bruin, speaking ahead of Sunday's encounter.
It's then suddenly a different spirit in the camp. It's now that they know the only thing that counts is the job at hand. So this morning at breakfast, I was amazed by the focus already. I don't want it too soon though, because we only play Sunday, but there's a great vibe. Job at hand for sure. We rated 12th and they rated 16, so how can we be confident? It's the first one for them.
On to cricket news now. Newlands Cricket Ground in Cape Town in South Africa's Western Cape province has been announced as the destination for the Betway SA20 season final 4 with Kingsmead in the KwaZulu-Natal province as well as Centurion and the Wanderers in the Gauteng province hosting key playoff matches of this year's competition, which starts officially on the 26th of December. Now tickets for the final and the playoffs will go on sale for the general public on the 10th of October. Now Durban will then stage a playoff match for the very first time in Betway SA20 history, giving the East Coast fans one more opportunity to experience incredible cricket as well as entertainment when the 2 best teams of the competition battle it out for the final that is set to be played then on the 21st of January 2026. In cricket, tennis news now, defending champion Jannik Sinner has been recovering from illness and received a much more favourable route to the US Open final than Carlos Alcaraz, while Aryna Sabalenka will be tested in her bid to retain her title after the draw was made on Thursday. So Sinner, who increased his Grand Slam tally to 4 with wins at this year's Australian Open as well as Wimbledon, will open against Czech Republican Viktor Kopriva and could then face the 5th seed Jack Draper in the quarterfinals and 3rd seed Alexander Zverev in the semifinals, and then Alcaraz potentially in the final. Meanwhile, Alcaraz is in a stacked bottom half of the draw, which see him beginning the first round against American Riley Opelka, while 4-time champion Novak Djokovic, seeded 7th, will start against Leonard Teen of the USA in the first round of this year's competition. In the women's draw, top seed Sabalenka will begin against Rebecca Marazova, while 2nd seed Swiatek, fresh from winning her tune-up event in Cincinnati, will start against Colombia's Emiliano Arango, while French Open winner, that is Coco Gauff of the USA, the 3rd seed, could face 6th seed as well as fellow American Madison Keys, who won this year's Australian Open in the quarterfinals, before a possible date with Swiatek maybe in that final. Meanwhile, twice champion Venus Williams, who received a wild card into the main draw, will be playing in her first Grand Slam since losing the first round of the US Open back in 2023. So she'll face the number 11 seeded player and twice semi-finalist Karolina Mokova of the Czech Republic. We'll stay with more tennis news as we tell you how obviously the former Grand Slam finalist, that is Australian Nick Kyrgios, has withdrawn from the US Open for a 3rd straight year on Thursday. Now, wrist, ankle as well as knee injuries have kept the former Wimbledon finalist largely out of action since 2023. Kyrgios is just 1-4 in singles matches this season and has dropped to the 644th in the world in the ATP rankings. A 7-time winner on the ATP Tour, Kyrgios peaked at number 13 back in October of 2016. He has also earned more than $12.6 million in prize money. He lost, though, to Novak Djokovic in the 2022 Wimbledon final before reaching the quarterfinals at the US Open that year, his highest ever finish at a Grand Slam tournament. Well, that is the wrap from the sports desk at the Sawa. For any sports stories you'd like to share with us, send us an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +27 11714 4459. Back with a final sports update for the afternoon in the next hour. For Channel Africa Sport, I am Mosibudi Makura.
Sports on Channel Africa. The African perspective. Ahoy, matey!
Captain here to help, right, boys?
Set sail with us on a digital voyage like no other. Channel Africa has a treasure trove of awesomeness. That is our website and social media pages.
Tell me, why are you here?
We want you to be part of our adventure.
The winds are changing, Captain. And this time...
Imagine a world where curiosity knows no bounds, where entertainment meets enlightenment, and where every click leads to the African perspective. Visit us on our website, www.channelafrica.co.za, or follow us on Instagram or on X at Channel Africa 1. Go on, like us on Facebook at Channel Africa 1. So, spread the word. Tell a friend that Channel Africa's online variety is what they need on the web. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
And for our final business news this afternoon on the upside, Matapelo Mahape is standing by.
Business news on Channel Africa. The African perspective.
Thank you, Deboho, and good afternoon. President Cyril Ramaphosa says his visit to Japan has been impactful as South Africa seeks to deepen trade with a number of countries. Ramaphosa took part in the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development Summit. This year's gathering took place at a time of unprecedented threats of global peace and disruption to global trade. A number of African leaders also attended the summit.
South Africa seeks to deepen inter-Africa trade while becoming a continental industrial platform from which Japanese and other global firms can expand and export into our continent. We're actively working with the AFCFTA Secretariat to finalize value chain protocols in automotive, agro-processing, pharmaceuticals and textiles.
As South Africa gears up to host the Africa Critical Minerals Summit in Johannesburg next week, the General Industries Workers Union of South Africa, GIWUSA, is calling for a continent-wide mineral strategy to prevent another scramble for Africa. Minister of Mineral and Petroleum Resources, Gwede Mantashe.
A spotlight on South Africa's critical minerals. The country's Minister of Mineral and Petroleum Resources, Gwede Mantashe, has emphasized the need for...
Apologies for that audio. Onto the story now. South Sudan's President Salva Kiir has fired the country's finance minister, the seventh replacement to the position since 2020. Kiir gave no reason for firing Mariel Dogrin Atta, who held the post since July of 2024. South Sudan's economic performance has faced hurdles in recent years amid communal violence, crude oil export revenue having dwindled since a 2013 or 2018 civil war, and more recently export disruptions due to the war in neighboring Sudan. The International Monetary Fund forecast a 4.3% contraction of the economy for 2025 and inflation of 65.7% for the same period. In a landmark move for South Africa's rail industry, Transport Minister Barbara Creecy has officially announced the conclusion of a Transnet adjudication process to select new private train operation companies. Speaking at a media briefing today in Pretoria, the minister hailed the development as a critical milestone in the country's rail reform agenda. The announcement signals the start of open access to the Transnet Rail Rate network, a move expected to boost efficiency, drive inclusive economic growth and unlock much-needed job opportunities across the logistics sector.
Transnet, through its operating division, TRIM, has completed the adjudication process to select new train operating companies. This is a significant step in our rail reform journey and makes open access to freight rail a reality in our country. It will contribute to a more efficient, reliable and sustainable rail system that can promote inclusive growth and, of course, ensure job retention and future job creation.
EU's tariffs on Russian fertilizers imports aim to cut funding for Moscow's war in Ukraine, impacting European farmers by raising costs and risking higher consumer prices. Russian companies claim they can divert exports to other markets. Global fertilizer prices have been rising this year, adding to other challenges faced by European farmers, such as higher energy costs and environmental regulations. Fertilizer export tariffs are gradually imposed over 3 years due to reduced dependence on Russian supplies. And look at your financial indicators. $1 in Nigeria is trading at 1,000 Naira 335. In Botswana, it's 13 Pula 28. Kenya, the dollar is trading at 128 shilling 38. And in Zambia, it's 23 Kwacha 21. The BRICS countries, $1 in Brazil is trading at 5 Real 47. Russia, it's 80 rubles 49. India, it's 87 rupees 17. While in China, it's 7 yuan 18. And in South Africa, $1 is trading at 17 rands 70 cents. And look at your commodities. Gold is trading at $3,323 and platinum at $1,337 per ounce, while the price of Brent crude oil is at $67.72 a barrel. For any business stories you'd like to share with us, please send an email to newsroom@channelafrica.co.za or call us on +2711 714 4459. For Channel Africa Business News, I am Matapela Mahape.
Business News on Channel Africa. The African Perspective.
She builds, she leads, she rises. This August, join Channel Africa in celebrating the women who shape our communities, shift narratives, and carve out a future on their own terms.
These women together ought to be able to turn it right again.
From Cape Town to Kigali, Lagos to Lusaka, African women are rewriting the script. Here's to courage, creativity, and unstoppable progress. Channel Africa, the African perspective.
We take no sides, none whatsoever. We are the upside.
easy to love. Wazi kwalulu kukuthanda. You're so easy to love. Okwazi kwalulu kukuthanda. You're so easy to love. Wazi kwalulu kukuthanda. You're so easy to love. He's my African
Easy to Love. Busi featuring Heavy K. What a number. What a banger. Makes you remember that, hey, the weekend is here. The weekend is upon us and we're going to have a good time. And it's 2 minutes before... Actually, it's not 2 minutes. It's 48 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. This is The Upside on Channel Africa, The African Perspective with Tebohole Kuleni and Matseko Mosito. It's time for us to get ready for what caught your eye. If something specific caught your eye, let us know on our WhatsApp line. +27634069126. 406 It can be about anything. Whether personal, something you read about, political, whatever. What caught your eye? Let us know. Send us a voice note or alternatively comment below on our social media platforms at Channel Africa on Facebook and YouTube and at Channel Africa 1 on TikTok. I hear that we are both going to be talking about how should I call it?
IP related creative in the creative space, as it were.
Stealing people's ideas.
Stealing the ideas.
The intellectual property.
Pinching from others and turning it into your own.
Even worse, when you are a well-established brand, stealing from those who are not established. That's what caught our eye. It's 49 minutes after 3 p.m. Central African time. What caught your eyes coming up next?
AUSISA, the Association of Water and Sanitation Institution of South Africa, is a platform uniting Africa's water professionals. This November, Africa leads the conversation on water and sanitation. Join global and African leaders at the AUSISA Africa and Global South Dialogue 2025 from the 9th till the 12th of November at the Emperor's Palace, Johannesburg. From policy innovation, this is where action meets collaboration for a water-secure future. Register today at ausisa-watersan-dialogue.org or follow at AUSISA on social media. AUSISA, working together for sustainable water and sanitation security in Africa. If it's news and current affairs, leading opinions, and thought leaders that get your groove, this is your home, The Upside.
All right, it's 10 minutes before 4 p.m. Central African time. What caught your eye? Matseko Mosito, what caught your eye?
What caught my eye is the fact that it looks like there's been a dispute in the High Court, and this is the thing though about pinching ideas from people you think are not so well known, and therefore because you are well known you can get away with it. I think nowadays with the beast that social media is, it's not so easy anymore to get away with
it's
it.
Not.
And there are laws that protect people.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I can prove beyond reasonable doubt that you've stolen my idea, you're in big trouble. You bet you're going to be in big trouble. So it turns out that a very famous and acclaimed photographer here in South Africa by the name of Trevor Stuurman. You would know this name if you pay attention to some of the really amazing, artsy magazine covers and photo photography curations and exhibitions, that sort of thing. Yeah. His name is synonymous in those spaces, and he's just really renowned for the work that he does. Well, he has now been ordered by the Cape Town High Court to close his current exhibition that he had titled "Your Beauty is Our Concern." And he was also instructed by the court to remove all related promotional material. The order comes after a woman-led initiative by it's called Woza Sisi, that's it, Woza Sisi Collective. They accused Trevor Stuurman of copyright, of having copywritten the concept, basically titling and theming literally almost everything. So this was from Woza Sisi's 2023, I beg your pardon, exhibition that they had titled "Your Beauty is My Concern," and the court granted Woza Sisi's request, and then they barred Trevor Stuurman as well as the THK Gallery from exhibiting or publicizing the contested show, at least until the matter is further sort of resolved, as it were. So it's still a matter that is in court, as I understand it. But my thing is, like I was saying in my statement earlier, that you can't just get away with it now. You can't just think because I am Smang, I've got 7 billion followers, therefore I can get away with it.
You really can't.
Listen, the court with my 2 followers is also on my side, and if I've done something and you've pinched it, and I can prove to the court that you are a little thief, okay, then I can take you to court and get protected. But it's also really difficult in creative spaces, because we can have the same ideas.
It is. You have to prove.
Yeah, because I remember having an idea, and I saw the idea on television, and I hadn't pitched the idea. It was still on paper. And I saw the idea.
Who did you
almost identical. Okay, I did tell someone, but I really don't think that they were a family member. I don't think they would have done anything. But the idea was on television almost literally identical to the idea I had. So had I had submitted that concept to, the people that I had wanted to submit this to, it would have been a problem.
Would have been.
It would have been a real problem because there were so many elements about what was on that particular show that was similar to my idea. So that's another thing, is that, oh my gosh, it becomes really difficult with creative ideas, doesn't it? So the court of law protects everyone. That's one point. And the second point is it really is a tough one when it comes to creative spaces as well.
Very tough indeed. And I mean, we say in an ideal world, it does protect everyone. In an ideal world. But if you have lawyers who can square up against someone like me and you who don't have all the expensive lawyers and are able to prove that, no, you are lying, the idea may be similar, but it's not exactly what you were pitching. They can prove that, no, we did not steal, all because they were able to get a lawyer or afford lawyers that could fight for them. So in as much as we want to think and believe that the High Court and the courts want to support and back everyone equally, is it really the case on the ground when you can afford slightly more expensive lawyers than the person you're going up against?
Well, that's a good point. But yes,
we'll pack it there for now.
My concern and our concern. Listen, I'm gonna watch this one. I'm really interested to see how this particular case is going to pan out. I think it's going to teach us a lot about just things that are misleading to the public and things that could risk, that could risk reputational harm, as it were. So we're going to watch this one closely.
100%. Sticking to intellectual property and creative flair and ideas being taken and so on and so forth, so just to clarify, there is no known beef between South African artist Tyla and Nigerian artist Ayra Starr. Not that we know of, right? But amongst the fans, the people who support either Ayra or support Tyla, support South Africa or support Nigeria, they are on some wavelength right now, arguing and having a little fight on social media amongst themselves about who stole whose dance moves. So they were looking at, there was a video of Ayra Starr performing on stage and she was moving around, and someone commented, we know exactly which song or which artist she stole those moves from, or which choreographer she stole those moves from, because they were referencing Tyla's Water, that song, let me swear, let me, the dance moves there, like they were very similar to what Ayra was doing there on stage. And so like, yeah, Ayra has been stealing Tyla's dance moves and choreography. No, Ayra has been doing this for the longest time. She didn't steal. Actually, it's Tyla who's stealing. Can they just both win? Can they just both exist in their respective fields, perform globally and enjoy sharing music with the whole world without it being some sort of competition on who's better than who do you love more than who? Can you just, if you love Ayra, you love Ayra, but it doesn't mean you have to hate Tyla.
Thank you.
Can you just celebrate them?
That's a great point. You don't have to hate the other for your love for the next person to show. Really but don't. Isn't it also a thin line between stealing someone's dance move and being inspired by them? It's a thin line, hey?
It's a very thin line. If I was inspired by it, did I really steal it? I was inspired.
I was inspired.
Then I improved it and I added this and that.
Let's think about the icons for a second. Let's think about the African icons. Fela Kuti is a fine example. If I'm inspired by Fela Kuti doing his thing with Africa 70 on the stage with his shirt off and the vibhuti, or what is it that he wore on his face? I don't know if it was holy ash or whatever it was. And it was just that one. It was probably vibhuti on the stage, and he was doing his thing. And I go and I do the same. And I'm a guitarist, and I take my shirt off like Fela Kuti, and I put vibhuti on my face, y'all.
Can you actually claim that?
Can I say that I was inspired by Fela Kuti, or should I say that I copied him?
It's a fine line.
It is a very thin
Let us know what you think. And also, can we just, like I said, if you love Ira, you love Ira. If you love Tyler, you love Tyler. Don't hate the other. If you love them both, even better. We are celebrating as Africa. And we hope that she's okay, because I saw on social media that she was performing in Brazil and had to be rushed out, to hospital. Something might have happened, but we hope that everything is well with her. And it's now time for us to hand over. It is now a minute before 4 p.m. Central African time to hand over to the Queen of Africa in business. Tami Ngubeni is in the building. Good afternoon, Tami. What's coming up on the show?
A very great afternoon to you. Good afternoon, Africa. We're going to be looking today at the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development. That concludes in Japan. And Kenya's managed to secure some nice big bucks for themselves, $169 million. Ooh. We'll find out what that is going to be used for. That's just part of what we've got in store for you this afternoon on Africa in Business.
Exciting business, important matters as always on Africa in Business. That's coming up next from us, the Upsiders. Happy weekend. We'll see you again next weekend or next week on Monday. Take care. Goodbye, Africa.